Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I've got a full on summer glam for you, so let's get started. And we're starting off with, well, in my case, a single roller in my bangs, because my bangs were not cooperating today. Anyways, but for the eyes we're just going to do a quite quick and easy cut crease. I really need to stop moving my head quickly while I'm wearing this thing. Anyway, so we're just going to start off with covering the entire eyelids in a primer. And then next up we're going to use the Thirsty Palette by Jeffree Star Cosmetics, because if there's any palette, you know, really suitable for summer, then it's this one. It contains a lot of colors. Well, I mean, a lot of colors I'm going to use. For this eye look, really, I'm just going to use blue and probably the really pale nude shade, I think. But yeah, we're just going to start off with a bit of a, you know, crease shade. And by a bit of a crease shade, I actually just mean a nude that is pale enough that is more like a shadow on my skin. Just to, well, both to set the base really, and also because neither of the blue shades in this, well, blue and turquoise really, they're not dark enough to really create much of a shadow. So I want to deepen up the crease a little bit beforehand. Now next up we're just going to make the crease blue, and well, I was sort of like, I wasn't sure if I wanted to use the turquoisey blue or the blue, but I'm going to go for the blue. You could just totally go for turquoisey blue. I don't think turquoisey is a word, but just ignore that. It just depends on what you feel like. I feel like a true blue shade is what I want to go for today. And I'm just using, because like I want to make this an easy look and a holiday friendly look really. So yeah, as few brushes as possible. So I'm using this dual-ended brush because this side is really useful for the cut crease. And it does mean I'm using this brush as a eyeshade brush. If you keep it like at an angle and then carefully blend it, you can perfectly use it to blend. So you don't really need to use a typical blending brush in order to get this done. Besides, you can blend it quite high because we're going to do a cut crease anyways, and it's just going to make it easier if the color is up high enough, so you can actually still see it once you cut the crease. Then time for brow bone highlight. By the way, part of the irony of this look is, I suppose, I don't actually very much enjoy going to the beach in summer. Like, I like going to the beach, but only when it's like autumn or when like kind of stormy. Because like I don't like sunbathing because I'm paranoid about skin damage. I also don't like to go swimming because then my face gets wet and like skincare and all, and like my piercings get wet, and also the sea is salty and like lakes and fish poop. Yeah, I like the idea of the beach. I don't actually quite enjoy it to actually spend time there. Then back to the eye primer and the slimmer brush, and with that, well, we're basically just going to do this exact thing. We're just going to use a little bit of this to cut the crease. In English it sounds fine, but like when I said it in the Dutch version, it just sounds so weird in Dutch. I don't know why. Anyway, but yeah, and try not to use too much product. Because if you use too much product, you're just going to wind up with a really thick cakey feeling on the eyelid, which is highly unpleasant, so don't. Then to set the base, I'm just going to use the brow bone highlight again, so the really pale nude shade. Both because it's really easy to apply, because, you know, you can't really go wrong with it. But also because I feel like if I were to use an actual sand shade, like a darker shade, then yeah, like my eyelid would be darker than my actual crease, which I don't really like that look personally on me. So yeah, just gonna go for this. And now that we have a nice and subtle cut crease, it's time to add a little bit less of a subtle eyeliner. Now, to soften up the liner a little bit, I'm going to go over it with a very dark brown eyeshadow in the edge of this small brush. Now do make sure that the liner is completely dry before you do this. Because otherwise you're going to smudge black liner over your entire eyelid. Yes, I have totally done that before. And also be very extremely careful in your inner corner, because again this is a mistake I've made in the past, of course. If you use too much and blend it up too far, you're just going to get a completely darkened up inner corner rather than a vaguely smoky edge around your liner. Which, you know, is usually not what I'm going for. Okay, with the eyes done thus far, it's time for the face. And yes, I totally did it off camera, because to me personally, the entire base, including eyebrows, is never really that interesting to watch. I do want to show you the coloring, like the shading, contour, that's the same thing. Anyway, the stuff that I'm going to use the actual eyeshadow palette for. The shade Subtle is literally called Subtle. It's the one that I used as a crease base, basically. I didn't even say that on purpose. Anyway, no pun intended. But it's just on paler skin tones. It's just like a shadow, basically, because it's really cool toned. So I'm just going to use it around my nose with a tiny blending brush. Fan brush, I meant a fan brush. I forgot how to talk halfway through the tutorial, apparently. And on the rest of my face with a bigger one. Then for blush I'm going to use this color over here, which is a very pale pink shade. I don't know why I tell you that, why I literally show you the color. Anyway, do keep in mind it is a eyeshadow, so don't go ham on it. Because otherwise you'll have a blush with all the intensity of, well, an eyeshadow, which is usually not the best way to go. Or at least, me personally, I do like an intense blush, but I don't want to go completely overboard with. Anyway, for the highlight I'm going to use a glitter eyeshadow. I'm not going to be too subtle with this, because the eyeshadow look is matte, the lips are going to be matte, and, you know, there might be a little bit of space for actual glow on the face, just so the entire look isn't completely matte. Then underneath the eyes I'm going for quite an intense bout of the blue eyeshadow on the more fluffy brush. I don't know why I pronounce brush so weird half the time. Anyways, this shade is really intense, so it is going to pop enough without it mattering that it's actually, you know, not over top of a base, but over top of powdered off concealer. I'm also bringing it quite far around the, well, besides the outer corner really, not around it. Just to sort of envelop the wing a little bit. Then before I forget the step again, just applying a nude pencil to my waterline. Then for lashes I'm just going to stick to mascara. I've already applied it on this eye because, well, I don't know, really hot summer days I never feel like wearing falsies. If you're actually going to the beach and are planning on swimming, I do recommend either just, you know, tinting your eyelashes and don't use mascara at all, or go for like the most extremely amazing waterproof mascara you can possibly find. I don't have any recommendations because I don't really enjoy swimming, so I've never really tested many mascaras in the water, but you know, you might want to not like look like something out of a horror movie if your face gets wet, so keep that in mind. Anyway, I'm using Lash Freak by Urban Decay. So I'm being extremely careful, because if you really like move the brush back and forth on this one, you're going to wind up with clumps of lashes. It's a really cool mascara, you just, you know, need to be careful with it. Then a liquid lipstick, just a nude shade. And then lastly some setting spray to finish it off. And here we have the final result. Like I said, a beach glam, but with the beach part taken very serious, because it's literally the colors of a beach, roughly. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please click the like button, because it would really help me out. Like, it makes YouTube suggest my videos more often to new people. If you don't want to miss any of your future videos, you can always subscribe to my channel. I do makeup tutorials, but I also do a vlog regularly. Like of a few weeks at once, because I don't really do enough interesting things in one day to like do a vlog every day. Admittedly. Anyway, for now, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful time and... I hope you have a wonderful day. And I hope to see you next time, when you forget your own outro. Anyway, bye!